Hi, my name is Dr. Rappe. I'm a certified functional medicine practitioner and the co-founder of Thrive Functional Wellness Center in La Quinta, California. If you're new to functional medicine or wondering what it is, well, it's really simple. Functional medicine, we identify what is the underlying cause of your symptoms, and then we work to resolve the underlying causes using all natural methods. We don't prescribe drugs or medications that literally only mask your symptoms or minimize your symptoms, never ever addressing the underlying cause, and you'll take those drugs for the rest of your life. Functional medicine is all about the underlying cause and working to eliminate those underlying causes, again, using all natural methods, healing your body from the inside out. I'm excited to share this webinar with you today and hope that you'll find the information educational, enlightening, and most importantly, inspiring. I hope it inspires you to take action, to take that very first step toward regaining your health naturally. I say this a lot, and it's really true. If you want a different outcome, you've got to do something different. It's as simple as that. And that's what we've done here. That's what we've done here at Thrive Functional Wellness Center. Over the last 30 years, we've changed lives through our all-natural, holistic approach, and we look forward to helping you change yours too. Welcome everybody, this is Dr. Rappe. I'm a certified functional medicine practitioner. I'm board eligible in functional nutrition, and I've completed a board certification course in neuropathy as a subspecialty. Today's conversation is reversing type 2 diabetes. Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different outcome, is the true definition of insanity. That's what Albert Einstein said. In our office, we say, if you want a different outcome, you've got to do something different. It's as simple as that. We're here today to show you a program that we've developed in our office to reverse your type 2 diabetes. So if you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, if you've worked with the same doctor for years and years and years, and he's never reversed your type 2 diabetes, they've only given you more and more drugs, this is the right program for you. So pay close attention. I have a really interesting video to show you. It'll last for a few minutes and then we'll get into some slides.
All I hear is how we're going to give more people access to the present system and how we're going to pay for it. But the present system doesn't work and it's going to take us down. We need a whole new kind of medicine. We don't have a healthcare system in this country. We have a disease management system.
Many people have a hard time believing that these simple choices that we make in our lives each day can make such a powerful difference.
The American healthcare system, it's generating rivers of money that are flowing into very few pockets.
In the health insurance industry, at the executive level, what's most important is meeting Wall Street's expectations. And they have to. These for-profit companies, by law, have to serve shareholders. You almost forget what you're doing is providing health care.
The healthcare system is unsustainable. We're really mortgaging the future. Not just the health of healthcare, we're talking about the health of the nation.
In a community health center like where I work, the administration is telling you need to see more patients. We're in the red. So it sounds like you're feeling really overwhelmed right now. Sorry. So don't be sorry. I can't spend the time with the patient, and you end up kind of being this revolving door. You just never get to the bottom of things.
When you reward physicians for doing procedures instead of talking to patients, that's what they're going to do, is do procedures. If I spend 5 minutes with you and put in one of these stents, I probably get paid $8,000 on up. For me to spend 45 minutes on an established visit with a patient and to try to figure out what their true problem is, I probably get paid $15. It's a completely irrational system.
30,000 Medicare recipients die each year from care they didn't need.
That's the equivalent of a jumbo jet crashing every single week. If the aviation industry killed as many people, we'd be up in arms.
How did we come to believe that the only way to treat disease is by giving drugs?
The military is a microcosm of what the problem society is having.
Soldiers' use of prescription drugs has tripled in the past 5 years.
When you're deployed, they feed you, feed you, feed you, feed you. All this stuff just to keep you going. Mission, mission, mission. This medications I was on.
Most most of the disease that we deal with is lifestyle related and therefore preventable. We've got to move in the direction of disease prevention and health promotion.
At Safeway, we provide incentives for people to engage in healthier behavior. We've improved the health of our workforce, the productivity of our workforce, and our own bottom line. So making money and doing good in the world are not mutually exclusive.
Here at the Cleveland Clinic, we're all salaried. What we do for a patient is dependent upon what the patient needs, not on our financial incentives.
The Army Surgeon General directed that we establish the Pain Management Task Force to take a look at alternatives to narcotics.
I'm 2.5 months out of combat. I was skeptical. So skeptical. I am a complete new person.
By accepting the fact the healthcare system is badly broken, we can seek out the escape fires, the potential solutions, and create a sustainable and patient-centered system for the future.
If you don't take care of you, nobody else will.
And I can do that.
Yeah, you can.
I can.
So America's healthcare crisis is pretty straightforward in my opinion. Big Pharma. The big pharmaceutical lie is that they'll give you a drug and you'll be fine. The problem is the pharmaceutical industry for years has developed drugs that only minimize your symptoms, and then you take those drugs for the rest of your life. That maximizes their profits. They're interested in one thing. That's right, money. Now, they have a cohort in crime here, in my opinion, and that's the insurance companies. The insurance companies and the misleading information that's out there. I have people come to me all the time and say, I've got a health insurance card. I'll be healthy. That's not how it works. You've got to make the right choices. 75% of the $2.7 trillion we spend on healthcare in the United States of America is spent on treating diseases that are largely preventable. If it's preventable, it's reversible. I've never seen a baby that was born with heart disease, clogged arteries, high cholesterol, hormone imbalances, thyroid issues. Never seen that. Those are developed. They're chronic conditions that are developed over time because of poor choices. America's healthcare crisis also, we spend $425 billion a year on pharmaceutical drugs in the United States of America. Why is that a big deal? We only make up 5% of the world population. That $425 billion represents 75% of all the drugs manufactured on the planet year after year. And again, we're consuming those in the United States. As far as insurance companies and misleading information, here's the problem. They're not teaching people, they're not educating people like they should. And that's really what we do in our program. It's a curriculum-based program where we teach you and provide you all the knowledge necessary for you to be successful and reverse your type 2 diabetes. The health insurance companies don't teach us how to eat organic foods. Why would we eat organic foods? Well, if you look at a piece of fruit from Europe, there might be 2 pesticides on it. That same piece of fruit in the United States will have between 200 and 300 pesticides. So going organic can actually help you in many, many ways, and it's not that much more expensive. In addition to that, exercise is really important, especially for reversing type 2 diabetes, but the health insurance companies really don't advocate that. They don't talk about it. They should be rewarding you for going to the gym on a regular basis, but they don't. Diabetic facts are pretty straightforward. There's 100 million people who are pre-diabetic or diabetic in the United States. Diabetes is the number one cause of blindness and kidney failure. People with diabetes are 4 times more likely to have a heart attack and or a stroke. If not reversed, 70% of diabetics will develop neuropathy, even while taking medications. And lastly, diabetes has tripled since the 1980s, and it's going to triple again between now and 2030. Myths about diabetes: as long as you take your medications, it's no big deal. Really? Diabetes has tripled since the 1980s. So are the drugs working? No, they're not working. They make you more diabetic. Diabetes is genetic and you just have to live with it. That's false. Lifestyle can trump genetics at any time. We reverse diabetes in the office all the time. It's not about genetics. It's about choices that you make. Diabetes will always get worse. Well, according to the Centers for Disease Control, diabetes is preventable and controllable, and therefore it is reversible. Some of the other diabetic complications we're going to see is weight gain, neuropathy, peripheral vascular disease, heart attacks and strokes, eye disease and blindness, kidney failure, Burden on a family. Diabetes can be a huge burden on a family, from a person's ability not to work, or they have difficulty working, creating income, sharing time with their family, all of those things. Not to mention that diabetes can end in loss of life, and that's a huge burden for life. The true cause of type 2 diabetes, insulin surges that cause insulin resistance. So let me put this up here. If we eat a meal, it's going to convert into glucose, and then glucose will stimulate your pancreas to produce insulin. Insulin's job is to take glucose to the cell for energy. That's normal physiology. However, when we adhere to the great American lifestyle, which is we don't get enough exercise, we don't get enough rest, we're overworked, we're overstressed, we eat horribly. When we do that, we're going to develop what's called insulin resistance. That means at the cellular membrane, the insulin cannot deliver its package of glucose. Our blood sugar goes up. And of course, what does the medical doctor do? They do what they were taught in school. Their only solution for you is to give you drugs. And those drugs will cause the pancreas to produce more insulin, or they'll be an insulin-based drug themselves. More insulin means more insulin resistance. Your medication doesn't work like it's supposed to, and your blood sugar will go up, and they'll keep increasing your dose until you've maxed out, and then they'll add another drug, and then eventually you'll be taking drugs and insulin injections. What do we do in our office? We've got to eliminate insulin resistance, and we want to resensitize insulin receptor sites at the cell membrane. When we do that and eliminate that, now your insulin can do its job, and it can deliver the glucose, and you will be a non-diabetic. This is one of our clients. He came into us in January of 2016. He literally was on his last leg. He said, I don't want to do this anymore. I just want to die. His wife is crying. I said, well, let's get into your story. We went through his story. He worked with the same doctor for 20 years. The doctor did exactly what I just described. He would continue to increase the patient's medications because his blood sugar would come down a little bit, then it would climb up. Then it would come down a little bit and climb back up. This patient came to me. This was his labs. His A1C was 9.4. His fasting glucose was 207, and that was on 2 different oral medications and 2 different insulin injections twice a day. So you can see that the drugs had only made him worse over the last 20 years. After 3 months of working with us, he was on no medications. His hemoglobin A1C was 5.4. Absolutely amazing. Completely reversed his diabetes.
I'm really thrilled to be here today to talk about Dr. Rappe and Lori and the program that I've been in. I had been diagnosed with diabetes many, many years ago, and I had been struggling with that all of that time. And my doctor's solution, of course, was just to add more medications and more medications to it. Nothing was getting resolved, and I really went out to seek out a more holistic approach, some other kind of an approach besides the typical medical approach, and happened to find Dr. Rappe and Lori through an ad in the newspaper. I went to the seminar. I knew immediately at the seminar that this was the program for me. I had really tried in the past to do this on my own, to try to lower my blood sugars, to eat better, because I've read enough that I knew what I should be doing, but I just could not do it on my own. But when I joined the program here, it has made all the difference in the world for me. My numbers are better. I am completely now off of my diabetes medications. I am sleeping better than I ever have. I've lost weight. I am eating better, and I feel absolutely amazing. I feel like $1 million every day when I get out of bed. I wake up at the same time. I'm ready and eager to go, where that wasn't the case before. But I think the biggest benefit that I've gotten from this program, that's just kind of come out as a seeming side benefit, is that my head is clear. It's like the fog has lifted out of my head. Not even something that I really realized or conscious was happening before, but oh my goodness, what a difference that has made. So with the changes that I've made physically, I've made some really great mental changes as well. And so my life has just gotten better all the way around in every way that I can even imagine. My everyday life, my relationship, including the work that I do, has even gotten better because of this program. I would highly recommend that anybody that's facing the same situation that I was in being diabetic and trying to manage that and trying to manage it with drugs and it not working, to get in touch with Dr. Rappe and Lori, get into the program, make it happen for you. And just as a side note, it's not as hard as some people think it might be.
So what's your medical doctor's solution? Pretty straightforward. Your medical doctor doesn't have a solution for type 2 diabetes. All he has is drugs, drugs, and more drugs. That's what he was taught in school. That's what he learned. That's what he's going to apply. The drugs that are used for type 2 diabetics, they only minimize your symptoms. They never, ever correct the underlying cause. At Thrive Functional Wellness Center, we use what we call the 3R solution. We want to remove toxicity, break down the underlying cause, in this case, insulin resistance, and then we want to rebuild your health from the gut out using all natural methods. The 3R solution. We also want to put our people through what we call the 5 pillars of health. The first thing we do is detox, clean, cleanse, and repair the entire body, breaking down insulin resistance, allowing your body to metabolize sugar like it should naturally. Then we roll into nutrition. There's a lot of myths out there about nutrition. There's a lot of special interest groups that are pushing nutrition. I can tell you this, we use scientifically based nutrition that will help you live an amazing lifestyle, enjoy your foods, but also reverse your type 2 diabetes. We have to do fitness, so we teach fitness. Everybody needs to have some kind of a fitness program. 30 minutes 3 times a week is all we ask, but it's very specific, specialized exercises and exercise methodology that'll help stimulate your hormone production. So we balance your hormones, reduce the amount of blood sugar in your blood, and also affect your brain in a positive way to stave off any cognitive dysfunction that may be over the horizon. We test everyone's hormones so that we can identify if there's any hormone imbalances. And lastly, we want to address the nervous system. There's a huge connection between the gut and the brain, and we need to address that as well. We know that 94% of failure is due to not having a system. The system that we teach is very straightforward. We teach, teach, teach. What am I doing? Why am I doing it? And what's my long-term benefit? It's a curriculum-based program whereby at the end of our program, you're independent in your own health. You know exactly what you need to be doing. Again, I am a certified functional medicine practitioner, 300 hours postgraduate studies to receive this particular certification. And if you're going to go down this path, you really want to work with someone who not only does this on a regular basis, but also lives the program themselves. This is why I do what I do. It's because of my family. When I was a little boy growing up in Minnesota, my mom died when I was 6 years old. It was a horrible, horrible experience. When my wife and I got married, I told her the story that I'd lived through, and I said to her, honey, I promise you, I will not allow our kids to experience what I experienced as a little boy. And I've kept that promise for 28 years. So it's really important. You have to decide what's your why. If you want to remain a diabetic and continue down the diabetic path and eventually get into kidney failure and blindness, then that's fine. I'm here to show you there's a way out, and if you choose to take that path, then fantastic. I would love to work with you. Freedom to choose is really straightforward. The choices are the foundation of your health. So all of the choices that you've made prior to watching this video today, that's what's established your health status. We know that past, present, and future is really important. So the choices you made in the past and presently are important, but it's more important are the choices you're going to make in the future. You can choose to do something different and get a different outcome, which is to be healthy. Failure to take action and do something different leads to the same outcome. More drugs, more drugs, more drugs. What our program is and what it's not a 5 to 7 minute chat with your doctor and more prescriptions. That's not what we do here. What our program really is we do a consultation with a certified functional medicine practitioner, a comprehensive history and metabolic assessment of all organ systems, because all of the organ systems have to be addressed in order for you to reverse your type 2 diabetes. In addition to that, we're going to review your previous labs, and I'll provide a plan of action moving forward if in fact I decide to accept you into the program. Once you've been accepted into the program, I'm going to order all the correct tests, the tests that your doctor just doesn't typically order. We're going to determine the true underlying cause and focus on cause, not symptom. We're going to address the body as a whole. We use a systematic approach that's easy to follow, and it's a step-by-step system. What that means is this: it's a curriculum-based program. We need to teach you, what am I doing? Why am I doing it, and what's my long-term benefit? Education, education, education. The more knowledge, the better. And lastly, coaching and mentoring. Coaching and mentoring is huge in our programs. We take people by the hand and we teach them how to apply the knowledge we've given them on a daily basis. Coaching and mentoring is important because people will stumble and fall. They need to be picked up, reassured, validated, and got them back on track. That's what we do. I was in the 1984 Olympic trials as a pole vaulter. I didn't get to that level of athletics by myself. I had coaches. I had mentors. I had a group of people work with me to help me elevate my skills to get to that level. And we do that in our office, and it's a huge part of our success. So what we offer in the office is a consultation, certified functional medicine practitioner. We offer a comprehensive history and metabolic assessment, a review of previous labs, and then what's called a plan of action. If it looks like this is the right place for you and you're the right candidate for this program, I'll lay down a plan of action. What does it look like moving forward? This will all take about an hour of time. That normal hour of time, my fee is $287. But I have a gift for you. Here's my gift. I'm going to reduce that $287 to a simple $87. Why do I do that? I hear that all the time. Why do you do that, Dr. Rappe? It's really straightforward. The experience I had as a little boy, I believe, led me down this path to become a health and wellness expert that I am. I've been in private practice for the last 30 years, worked with thousands and thousands of people successfully. I don't want there to be a financial roadblock for anybody to come in and see me and identify if this is the right program for them and if I can help them. I will tell you this, if I don't believe I can help you, I will not offer you a program. We won't even consider moving forward.
What will your last 10 years look like? Will you be quick enough for a game of tag with your grandchild? Strong enough to embrace every moment? Will you grow old with vitality? Or get old with disease? It's time to decide.
So everybody knows who this is, Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs was an amazing human being. Some people would say he was a genius. The problem with Steve Jobs is Steve Jobs put his health on the back burner. So if I had an opportunity to talk with Steve Jobs today, what I would ask Steve is, if not now, then when? If not me, then who, Steve? You see, again, Steve Jobs was so focused on the iPhone you have in your hand or in your purse. He was so focused on making the next iPhone that he put his health on the back burner. And what happened was this. Steve lost his life. You know, when Steve died, he had $10.5 billion in the bank. He could have easily made the choice to take care of himself, but he didn't. He put his health on the back burner. Don't make that mistake, please. If what I've said in this presentation makes sense to you, if you'd like to find out more information about reversing type 2 diabetes, please contact us. We do it all the time in the office. The main thing is this: commitment, mindset. It's really straightforward. If you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, you're tired of the drugs the doctors are giving you, and you really want your life back, give us a call. We can walk you down the path to success and turn your diabetes around. Again, call now, 760-777-4177, or contact us on our website, thrivefunctionalwellnesscenter.com, Facebook, Thrive Functional Wellness Center, or Instagram, Thrive Functional Wellness Center. This is Dr. Rappe saying, I appreciate your time and attention. Today's the day. Make the choice to reverse your type 2 diabetes. Thank you very much. If you have any questions about our programs, please contact us using the numbers and the emails on the screen. We look forward to helping you regain your health and thrive again, because believe it or not, your health is your wealth.